You will drown in eternal night.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to episode number 8 of Kombat Talks Blood. Today we have yet another very special guest straight out of the MK Mobile community, and with that, one of the rarest creatures ever to be stalking these very plains of the wastelands. Some would even go that far to call it female. Yes, you heard that one correctly. She's not only active in the game itself, but also helps out many new players on Twitter and the official Mortal Kombat Mobile Discord server with her words of wisdom, experience, and even more these days, the painful truth about how things really are. Without sugarcoating and without holding back in the slightest, please everyone give her a warm welcome. Dragonwolf22, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, it's good to be here, What's going on?
My first question to you would of course be, like, as we never really did a podcast together, how did you get into touch with Mortal Kombat Mobile and when did you start playing?
Well, I started playing about 3 years ago, give or take, so I'm not necessarily new, but I think honestly I found Mortal Kombat after Legendary Game of Heroes kind of kicked the bucket a little bit. I was looking for something else to play and I saw this, I was like, I like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat Mobile can't be bad, and since then I've just been playing.
And what kind of characters drew you in? Did you have any favorite characters at that time before you started and just went like, I really need to see if that character is available on mobile?
Ironically enough, it was Noob Saibot who was the one that I was really waiting for. I was kind of disappointed when he wasn't in the game right away, but I was kind of hopeful he would one day be added, which he was.
Yeah, well, that was a long wait though. Basically, you waited 3 years.
Yeah, but I'd say that it was definitely worth the wait with this one.
Absolutely agree. I love playing Noob Saibot. And how about game modes? What are your favorite game modes? How do you like Faction War, Survivor mode? I don't think we need to mention Battle mode anymore.
Faction Wars Quick Battle is my favorite out of all of them. I like being able to face any team in existence. Challenge mode is okay too, but that gets very boring very fast. That's just mostly grinding. Quick mode. Towers can be alright too.
And how about dislikes? Which modes don't you like at all?
Survival mode. That's the one mode that it just irks me in so many ways.
Yeah, even though it's
Like,
not really
just
that much of a grind, it's still very annoying, especially because of the cheating AI. Once you get like to match 10, you really feel that the AI ramps it up and you always face the same characters such as Circle of Shadow Liu Kang in a team with Assassin Jade and maybe Strike Force Scorpion, and then that just repeats maybe with a few interchanges in the characters, but it's mainly the same old suspects all the time.
Yeah, that, and also it just destroys the balance of Faction Wars, because before Survival Mode, you could just grind as many battles as you want, and how high you scored was pretty much a direct cause of that. You grind more, you score higher. Now it's like you just run one Fatal Tower or one Elder Tower, whatever, and you're already in the higher leagues already with no effort involved.
And how do you feel as a female player in the game? Do you think there are any issues in terms of bullying, or that people underestimate you, don't take you serious, something like that? Especially when you are on social media and then coming out as a female player, are there people who saying like, you as a girl, you have no idea what you're talking about?
I mean, people were surprised when they first found out, but because they've already known me for quite a while, that kind of eased things a little bit. Like, I haven't really experienced any major bullying or anything like that.
Because I feel also that female players we don't really have that many of them. We do have a few, at least when we look at social media, those who make themselves known. We probably have a ton more who never even bother to answer anything on Twitter or YouTube or anything. But it's like it's very few in between.
Yeah, I mean, on Discord, I don't even really know anyone who actually, like, says that, hey, yo, I'm a girl, yeah.
Then our next segment would be the return of the Black Dragon Tower with the event that just ended. The Black Dragon Tower was around for the second time, this time only in the Fatal version of the tower. In the very first time we had normal and Fatal difficulty. This time we only had the Fatal one, which granted gives us that random diamond drop at match number 100 and also the guaranteed epic after completing match 200. But how was it for you, Black Dragon Tower? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it in the very beginning, and then after I just completed more and more tower runs with not a singular random gear drop, I was just like, this tower is not fun anymore. The diamonds on 100 are nice, and the random epic gear on 200 is nice, but past that I had to buy for tower gears, which I was not happy about that at all.
And I also heard that you've been playing that with your beginner account, so basically to give yourself a little challenge.
Yes, I was playing it with a little bit of a starter account. I've been running it since Black Friday, but I haven't been putting that much effort into it. The starter account did fairly well, though. As long as you have the right characters, even a Fatal Tower on tower bosses can be destroyed within 10 battles, as long as you have, like, classic Ermac or something.
And what are your thoughts on tower and gear in general? Like, is there anything that you really find worthy? Like, for example, many people absolutely value the cybernetic heart a lot, since that thing works also on Fusion Zero already and gives you so much value when you pump up to your X-ray in no time, for example.
I like almost all the tower gear. My favorite so far is I've been having a lot of fun with the Psych Bomb. Just being able to tag in and having that much damage, because I got a couple fusions of it. It works well on Fusion Zero as well, but it's definitely a fun piece of gear.
I actually found it very useful using it with MK11 Shang Tsung, since they really ruined his tagging at the moment, where you basically have to morph and then immediately get hit. But with the Psych Bomb you at least have a chance to stun the opponent, so Shang Tsung can do the morphing and then continue the fight.
Yeah, I think honestly Psych Bomb is the only time I ever really see it in FW, strangely enough, is on characters like MK11 Shang who have that issue where the second they tag in, they're so vulnerable for whatever reason that they just need that little extra boost.
And how about the tower gear when it comes to the uncommons, like Cobra's boxing gloves and the Black Dragon sword? And we had a third one with Dragon Teeth.
They're not bad. They're fun to use on the right characters. The best thing is that because they are uncommons, they're so fun to actually try and find like unique experiments to use them with.
Yeah.
Like Black Dragon sword actually is that's the one that I use all the time on MK11 Scorpion for a lot of fun too. Because of the Leaf Fire Blast shot.
The Black Dragon Sword is the one that I'm using in quests, since that gives also that health bonus, which helps the quest to pump up, especially then for NetherRealm quests when you really need to add some valuable gear. And usually the health equipments are the ones that drive that percentage bar up. So Black Dragon Sword is always going to quests. Then Dragon Teeth for me goes to Classic Kano, since his passive already gives him basically 100% crit chance. And then with the Dragon Teeth you immediately get the damage boost for critical hits. Then Cobra's boxing gloves, I love that thing, for example, on Circle of Shadow Quan Chi, since he already has unblockable, so he can really use that, plus then basic damage boost. It's fun.
Cobras I like because of that resistance to slow and stun.
Yeah.
If you run out of gear in survival mode, you can easily use that. If you have, like, say, Vial of Infinite Blood left to use as a block breaker, you still have some sort of stun immunity gear, which is very useful in survival mode.
Any finishing thoughts on the Black Dragon Tower?
It's a fun tower. I just wish that the drop rates were the same as newer towers, because going through 3 towers altogether of it, 3 rounds of it, and getting no gear at all, it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was atrocious. Basically, they did nothing to improve on the drop rates. The first time around, we at least had the guaranteed uncommon drops and the guaranteed rare drop, but now that we only had the fatal and had to rely basically on every single drop, that was really a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, then moving on to our next segment, and that would be the stage that the game is in right now. I think I can safely assume that you've seen what is going on Twitter these days, especially now that they announced the release of Fire God Liu Kang, and now the storm that is brewing up on social media, people telling other people not to buy the pack, basically to force NRS to change their business model, their policies.
Yes, I definitely have been seeing that. Personally, I'm actually kind of a fan with it because I've seen what happens if a game becomes too monetized, which is the state that Mortal Kombat definitely seems to be going in. So I hope NRS does, people do follow through with this, and NRS does wake up and realize that going too far will lead to some serious consequences. The Discord has actually even been talking about that a small bit too, actually, with some members planning on either boycotting it or, if anything, they might open one singular pack, but they're not going to chase it like they used to.
I mean, that also brings us directly to the paywalls for new characters, which we have seen now with Classic Jade, where we had that restriction on the pack with a limitation of 10 packs only, and the pack only being available for 24 hours. Granted, that pack came back 3 times basically in a row, but that doesn't mean that that will be the same for the future. They could easily just drop one of those new character packs like that, then for 24 hours with 10 attempts that you could unlock a character, and then don't bring that pack back, and now maybe even adding a diamond to that with 3%, 4% drop rate. Maybe if they're kind, 5%, but with the 10 out of 10 limitation, ouch.
Yeah, that pack, honestly, you can say what you want about different packs sucking for various reasons, but the moment that you try to limit how many souls a player can actually spend on a specific character, that pack will automatically become my least favorite, which a lot of people know, because the first day that pack dropped, I did go on a little bit of a rant. Shortly after Man dropped his video, I went on Discord, and I was not a happy camper about it.
I guess it was also brewing up pretty wide circles on social media and Discord in general, right?
Yes, it was definitely.
I mean, rightfully so, because that concept is really atrocious. On one hand, I like the fact that Classic Jade was around 13% drop rate, but then again, nobody guarantees us that that will stay the same way, and they really could tweak that to beyond recognition in the future and not bring the pack back, which leaves basically players then opening 10 packs, getting nothing, and then maybe have to wait half a year. I mean, just look at how they're releasing soul packs nowadays. Even you've been asking me, when was the Day of the Dead pack last time, and we figured out it was March.
Yeah, it'll definitely become one of those moments where you'll have to be relying on elite packs to get anything. Newer characters, it's going to be a matter of extremely good luck if you can get them. Otherwise, you're going to have to spend cash, which I know a lot of people at that point will not be doing. I mean, on Discord all the time, as they keep releasing this Jade pack, and is now with Fire God Liu coming out, we're realizing that pack's probably going to be only a 10% drop rate for him. People are saying that they're done spending money on this with the way that the game is currently. It's not worth it anymore.
By the way, speaking of Discord, let's get a little bit into the meat and bones of that. Basically, let me fill you into the picture how it started for me with Discord. As they did that little survey back then, who we want to have in the game for the first time, I was basically I would need to vote for Noob Cybot on Discord, so I created an account and jumped on there, did my vote, and then tried to look around a little bit with the MK Mobile community, since I'm a daily player and totally dedicated to the game, really devoted player. Then I was hanging around there and I saw so many things going on. People getting censored left and right for speaking their minds, even if it was addressed politely when somebody said, I don't like the way the game is heading. Then suddenly the message was deleted and the account was banned. I was like, oh my god, this cannot be real. It's taken away freedom of speech like that. And who do NetherRealm or /WB think they are that they can censor people like that? then going into the terms of service and reading there that one sentence like be respectful to the company and their creation or something like that. It's like, yeah, that's the one sentence that basically lets them justify every move they make. As soon as they see something they don't like, they can delete it and just say, that was not respectful.
Yeah, they definitely have been doing that a lot more, especially now since the Classic Jade Pack has been released. Typically, they get really bad when there's like a new update that's more of a controversial one, but like right now they're perfectly quiet because there's nothing to block, no one's really saying anything bad, but every time that the Classic Jade Pack gets mentioned, then either messages get deleted or people get mutes right off the bat. It's just, sometimes things can get very intense in the server. Like, I know when Classic Jade Pack first dropped, everyone was getting very, very mad over it. I found that I had one of my messages that was deleted and all it said was just, watch man's video on the topic if you want to know what's going on. Not even being disrespectful to the community at that point, or even NRS itself. It's just saying, watch someone who's a very respected YouTuber in the community. Watch his video on the matter and you might understand what's going on a little bit more, because there was a whole lot of chaos going on at the time and people just didn't know what was going on.
I gotta tell you, as I said, I was on there maybe for like 2 weeks after that. I'm not even going onto the Discord server anymore. I'm just so done with that. Just seeing this kind of censorship coming from them. I basically left after 2 weeks. I still have my account there, but I really don't care. If anything, then I might look into the announcements or something when they drop news or something regarding updates. But aside from the quick little peek into the announcement channel, I'm not even stepping a foot into that official MK Mobile Discord server at all. I value my freedom of speech. I rather stay on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I've been spending a lot less time on Discord myself, actually, since that happened. But so far, it seems like as if they're backing off just a little bit. I mean, a few of us wrote very long messages to WB. I even directly called them out on deleting messages and having their mods, unfortunately, be deleting messages. And after that, they've backed off for the most part because they already know that the community, we are going to stick together on this. We all might not feel the same about a pack, but most of us don't want our things deleted just willy-nilly. It goes against NRS just a slight bit.
I mean, it would still be a different thing if somebody is totally insulting and then just ranting and calling them names and stuff like that. Of course, I would understand that they block that on their own server. But if somebody just says, like, I don't like the direction the game is heading, that you censor that, oh my god, you know, it's like...
Oh yeah, I definitely don't mind if people who take things too far get banned.
No.
Because you don't want to go too far or else the devs really won't want to do anything because they feel like no matter what they'll do, they're going to be met with this very nasty criticism. But if you're being respectful about things, saying like, please make these changes in XX way for XX reason, then you shouldn't have your message deleted.
But on the other hand, didn't they even call somebody out and saying like 50% of the community don't have any say anyway, or their opinions don't matter?
Yeah, that was a couple days ago. We were re-talking about the Jade Pack, and someone brought up Man's video and how it actually represents what a large portion of the community feels, which is very true. A lot of people do not like this pack because of all the reasons that he stated. And another more higher ranking member, I won't get into names for their sake so they don't get yelled at and bombarded in Discord. But he said, well, half the community don't have any brain cells anyway, so what does that really matter? Which was just, that kind of blew my mind that they would even think of saying that.
So in other words, it's total madness as it always was?
Pretty much, that's a fair way to sum up the server. There are small, quiet moments, but those are far and few in between.
At least now we have it really quiet because maintenance is right now ongoing as we are talking and recording this year. The new update, they didn't even say what kind of update it will be, if that will be like 3.3 or 3.2 point whatever. They didn't say anything, which seems more like a little bug fix update now that they might drop than the new Paywall pack.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Honestly, there's just no communication between the game team at all, so I think just no one knows really anything of what's going on unless we get a small snippet of information, but...
Yeah, we will get information as soon as that update dropped and the data miners are on their way. Because we will get that information from the data miners way before NRS is even lifting a finger.
Yeah. That's the sad thing. It shouldn't be like that, but MKM is probably one of the very few games I play that is like that. Almost every other game I play, they're in constant communications with the community, doing constant polls and surveys, always asking what the community wants, how they feel the game is going, how they like the state of the game, etc. And we're just not seeing that with NRS, and being kept in the dark is...
I mean, that would be the normal way, you know, like no matter what kind of company, when they drop a product, then you gotta ask your customers, how did you like the product? Do you find it useful? Where can we improve? What would you like to see maybe in addition to that? Basically just to make a better product at the end. And from the side of NetherRealm, we basically just don't get anything. It's like they only show up on Twitter when they have something to sell. And then for 3 months to come, they say nothing. Maybe they drop like once a week those fan arts from Discord. But that's not communication, that's basically just sending out 5 pictures.
Yeah, it's very sad that NRS doesn't have any communication. It seems to me like they're basing how much people like their products on how much money they're making off of these new character releases. And hopefully, I mean, Rain, I still haven't even seen a soul pack. I'm hoping we get a soul pack later today. A lot of people are also hopeful for that. But when you go, I think now it's actually 5 months since he was released, because he was released all the way back in April, with not so much as even a sneak peek as to what a soul pack might look like for him.
I think 45 mentioned today it marks 100 day. So 100 days between his paywall pack and no souls pack at all.
Yeah, like that's just insane. I don't think there's any other game that would even do that to their customers. Like if they release a product, they're gonna make it to where free-to-play players can get it within, at the top, they might wait a month or 2 just because if it's trying to create some funky pack or a special challenge for them, which is what I see a lot of the time, which is nice because it gives free-to-play players something interesting to do on top of unlocking this new character. But MKM, it's kind of just a matter of, oh, I'm free-to-play, I guess 6 months later, I still might not have half a chance to see what some people have already FX'd if they've been spending money on it. It's like, what?
Yeah, and the only hopes that we at the moment can only have is that they at least fix some bugs. I don't expect any really big content coming from this update, to be honest, at all. I have no hopes. Even if they drop Fire God Liu Kang, he will be paywall for a month. So not looking forward to that either. You know, it's like I don't feel excitement at all. It will just take us a month anyway to unlock the character, so we don't need to be excited yet. Maybe start being excited once he drops. You know, then like, yay, now I can try him out. But before? Nah.
This update, honestly, the second I found out that I was dropping, it's like, oh boy, here we go again. Because bug fixes, they'll fix a small number, it's like 2-3 bugs, but then it's like they always seem to add more bugs than they...
Yeah, it's like they fix 5 and they add 10 with the same update.
Yeah.
It's like a box of chocolates, you never know what you get.
Now, you might get a lot of bug fixes, but you'll probably get not many.
Well then, how about some closing thoughts? What are your expectations overall from this update? What would you like to see to come to MK Mobile in the future? What are your deepest dreams and desires?
Honestly, I'm hoping that they actually do put a tower in, maybe not to release right away, but soon-ish, because it is kind of boring having really not much to do besides faction wars. I love quick battles to death, don't get me wrong, but after 200, 300 battles in a row, you want something else to do as well, and a tower is a good way to serve that. Plus, a lot of people want that as well, and I hope that they can listen to the community on that one.
But I think that will be pretty much a given. I mean, right now they will either drop a new tower, or they will repeat an older tower, maybe like Shirai Ryu. That would be, I think, the next one after Black Dragon Tower, if they don't add a tower in between. But then again, the question is it normal or is it Fatal Tower? Because I don't think they will drop both towers. Hard times for new players.
I mean, Fatal Tower is next. like after seeing so many of them, a lot of the like older players of the community came up with teams that are just absolutely amazing for new players to use, and they're relatively easy to unlock. Like classic Ermac is the easiest character you can really unlock because he's only 1600. Blood Ruby is in the FW store, and you only need him at F0 to actually use him.
No.
But overall, it's just new players are going to have a lot of issues with new towers, especially as they unleash new characters. Like Rain is going to make a nasty tower boss. Fire God Lu, I'm thinking, is going to make a very nasty tower boss, especially with the way that he keeps healing. It'll definitely be a nightmare for new accounts and new players.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to all the strategies we will have to come up in case like a new tower drops, and then Fire God Liu Kang will be somewhere at match number 200, accompanied by Classic Raiden and God knows who.
It'll definitely be very bad to see. I mean, because you can't even use poison on a tower boss, because that's the best way to cancel the regen, but tower bosses you can't do that, which...
Although I think like Fire God Liu Kang will not be affected by that power versus regen anyway, because he literally heals like in just one jump. Other than like slowly filling up his bar, it's just like he gains fire, he gets that health immediately.
That brings up my question of poison cancels all forms of healing, no matter what it is. Even Marksman Kung Jin with his vampirism shot, it will not work if he has poison on him. I wonder if that will actually be the case with Fire God Liu Kang, which will be useful for FW, but towers, I think it'll just be trying to outdamage what he could heal. I think that'll probably be one of the only ways to knock him out.
Probably the best strategy will be keep them crippled all the time.
Yep. Crippled will definitely be the best way. Ronin, actually, Kenshi, if you can get him to FP2 and you can get him to land an unblocked hit, that might actually work very well too, because I've seen people get up to 2 million damage with that, but that's not going to be something that's new player friendly. That'll be something that old players will be able to use.
But one thing is for sure, it will definitely be interesting no matter what comes our way, because I feel now we're kind of like at the brink of something new, maybe, since the community is so unhappy with the things going on. At some point, NetherRealm and WB will have to respond to that, and hopefully that in a good way, so that players and the company can move forward together. Because none of us wants this game to die. We all are here and we're talking about this game. We're doing this podcast because we love this game. We don't want it to shut down, we don't want it to go away, we don't want it to become just a paywall and casino as it already is, or even worse, just that it goes forward with everything available just via paybacks. We just basically want to have the game back to a state how it was before 2.0, before they started ruining things gradually.
Yeah, I want the game to start thriving a little bit more. The community is very unhappy, and I wish that NRS would realize that and they'd make changes on their end to actually fix that issue, because they don't seem to realize it, but an unhappy community means a lot less profit on their end, because people don't want to spend on something that they're not happy with. It's just a given. And
especially if it's flawed. I mean, like when it's already full of bugs when they release it, and then take 3, 4, 5 months to even bother fixing that issue. You know, like bugs that we had around with, for example, MK11 Noob, where his Special 2 just stopped executing in the middle. It took months for them to fix that. And in between, they just sold him for Christmas in paywall packs and stuff like that, you know. They'll buy MK11 Noob, he's such an amazing character, but he was broken. How can you sell a product where people constantly tell you that thing doesn't work, it has an issue? Fix it. You know, even if you just go into maintenance quick or something like that, you know, and fix that issue then. With one quick solution, fix 5 bugs that are most serious at the moment. And they cannot even be bothered to that.
That Christmas sale with Noob, that upset me big time, because I was actually looking forward to possibly a pay pack with Noob in him, because I have 0 luck with FW drop, and to see that was actually made me really happy all the way up until I started thinking about the long bug list that he had. I was like, come on, do I really want to spend that much money to get fusions on a diamond I can't even really use right away anyways, and I ended up saying no, and I know a lot of other people ended up saying no because of that.
I mean, now that these bugs are fixed, he's amazing to play. He's so much fun. You unlocked him a few days ago as well. You already can tell.
Yeah.
But before that, imagine you would have all these bugs still equipped. It's like a bonus gear.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even have played with him if I unlocked him all the way back then, because buggy characters is something that I generally don't play with often. At least I don't try to. Like Black Dragon Tremor, and even now with Aftershock Tremor, I still don't really play them often because they get bugged all the time. Like every other update we see a bug for at least one of the two of them, if not both of them.
Let alone Scorpion and his special one.
Yeah, that's bad.
Right now every Scorpion is bugged, which makes almost like 10% of the game because we have so many Scorpions.
Yep.
And sometimes I really think they bug these things on purpose because of a tower. You know, like depending on what kind of character might be really useful to take down the tower, and then suddenly, oh sorry, we have a bug on that special attack.
Yep.
And then they fix it for the next tower, but then they bug the next character who would be useful there.
Yep, it definitely does feel that way when you look at the list of bugs they have versus the time those bugs are actually released. It always falls on a time where the character would have been extremely useful but ends up now being utterly garbage because they're so broken that they're just pretty much insta-dead because you're relying on either that SP or you're relying on a combo ender or just being able to KO the opponent, and it either causes the game to crash or your character just ends up dying because of it.
Yeah, we will see what will come with this update and what kind of bugs they fix this time. I'm really excited about reading all those bug reports afterwards and what has been done. And as you know, on Twitter, Bojidar and I are usually going through the bug list and we are double checking. And sometimes we even found bugs that are still active despite them listing them as fixed. This is so funny. Like when they say we fixed the special one of character XYZ, and then we check the character and we go like, the bug is still there. What did you do?
Oh yes, we've already fixed this bug. It's like, then what's this gameplay that I reported live for you that shows that the bug is definitely still here?
Well, I think with that we are pretty much through then for today. Dragonwolf22, it was a big pleasure to have you for Kombat Talks Blood. And do you have any closing thoughts on the game, on the Discord server, on the community, whatever comes to mind? Fire those out right now. And also do a plug of your YouTube channel, social media, Discord, whatever you want to share. Go ahead.
Pretty much my only thoughts are that as long as the community stands together, then everything will work out fine, and I just hope that NRF wakes up and starts realizing that they're in some serious trouble right now. My YouTube channel, I don't have one at the moment. I could always make one if people are interested in that. The main way of contacting me is probably through Discord, which you'll find me as Dragonwolf22 in the official server. You can feel free to ping me if you need help, or even just go ahead and DM me. My DMs will always be open, as long as you're not going to try and do some sort of trolling stuff, and then obviously I'll probably mute you right then and there unless you apologize. Other than that, on Twitter I don't really go on that much in terms of posting, so I won't really list that there.
Okay, then I would say I also will leave all the links that you will be sharing then down in the description below of this video, so that you can reach those sites with one click. And other than that, you can find me on YouTube under Casey Mobile Gaming, which is kind of funny because you're already there, so you don't even have to search. But what you can do is click like and subscribe, and maybe tick that little bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos. And I will also have my Twitter in the description below, so you can find me there too, as well as the link for Facebook. And with that, I would say, once again, thank you for hanging out with me and Dragonwolf22. We had a blast doing this podcast. I hope that the maintenance will go over smoothly. I will go right to editing and see if I can even drop this podcast here before the maintenance ends, so that you can listen to it while the maintenance is still up and you might be sitting around waiting, totally bored because the game is down at the moment. But other than that, I would say have a good day, have a good night. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in once again. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. In case you didn't like the video, hit the dislike button twice just to make sure. And if you want to support the channel a little further, please consider joining the Patreon family of KC Mobile Gaming. You can already do that with as little as just $1 a month. And also follow me on social media like Twitter and Facebook. You will find all the necessary information in the description below of every video. If you want to see more content, then why don't you just click on one of those two videos here. Thank you for your support. Have a good one. Casey over and out for today.